Good day, sir. By the way, my name is Salomidi Omas-as. I am from B Scream to Block D. I will discuss what I've learned in our entire discussion. First is we discuss about what is photography. The word photography literally means drawing with light, which derive from the Greek words photo means light and graph means to draw. Photography is an art and science process of reproduction of an image of the object. It is an art in the way that it needs skills and talents to produce a good image or a clear image. It is a science in the way that it needs a systematic methods or a step-by-step process to conduct a photography. There are four elements of conducting a photography. First element is light. Light is an electromagnetic radiations that can be detected by our human eye. This is the most important elements of photography because without light, there will be no image present. There are two types of light. The first is natural light and second is artificial light. So in natural light, it is made by nature, or example, the sun, the moon, and the artificial light, it is made by human. Example is fluorescent and light bulbs. So there is five characteristic of light. First is reflection. The throwing back by a body of surface of light, heat or sounds without absorbing it. Transmission. The transmission of light occurs when the light hits an object and is transparent or translucent. The third is absorption. The absorption of the light makes an object dark, or the wavelength or the color of the incoming wave. Fourth is diffraction. Refers to a various phenomena that occurs when a wave encounter an obstacle or an opening. The last one is refraction. Refraction is the redirection of a wave as it passed from the medium to another. The second elements of photography is sensitized materials, composed of highly sensitized chemical compound, which is capable of being transformed into an image through which through through the action of light and some chemical process. Example there is film and photo paper, which the photo being printed. The third elements of photography is camera and accessories. This is the gadget used to conduct a photography. And the last is chemical process. It is the process where the image have a physical appearance. So it is connected with the second elements. Our second discussion, our second topic is all about what is police photography. It is an art or science which deals with the study of the principles of photography, the production of the photographic evidence, and its application to police work. So this is the photography that conducted by our law enforcement and when the when they are in the operation or they are in the crime scene. Third topic is all about what is forensic photography. It refers to the visual documentation of different aspects that can be found in the crime scene, and it includes the documentation of the crime scene or physical evidence that is either found at a crime scene or already passed to through laboratories. For example, this is in the crime scene if there is a blood stain and fingerprints, so they conduct forensic photography to trace the offender or the suspect. Forensic in Latin words, forenses meaning of or before the forum. Forensic also means gathering all the data together in order to know the truth or seeking the truth for justice. Our fourth topic is all about what are the use of photography in the field of law enforcement. The use of photography in the field of law enforcement is it serves as a concrete evidence for the specific or any forms of crime. Through through photography, it can easily to convict a criminal because it serves as a basis of the judge. Our fifth topic is special use of forensic photography. They are most useful in supplying a significant bits and piece with exact crimes has occurred. The purpose of crime scene photography is to provide the true and accurate record of the crime scene and, and physical evidence presented recording the original scene and related the areas. Function of photography. So, there are 9 functions of photography. First function of photography is identification. So, through photography, we can easily identify the suspect or and the second function of photography is communication and microfilm. So through photography we can communicate with picture because picture can say 1,000 words. So number 3 function of photography is evidence. So by photography it serves also the evidence because example you take a photo from the crime scene, so it is a concrete basis of the to convict a criminal. Number 4 is action of offenders. So um, number 5 is court exhibit. This is the process of you present your evidence through with the judge into the court, and the judge make it or mark it an exhibit. um, Firing or fire present presentation. So function of photography is some of our agencies conduct a barangay forum or symposium to make the community aware of um, what uh, the laws is all about public relations, so it needs also to have a public relation because um, it need to have a public relation because for us to easily uh, find the suspect in that specific community. The number 8 is police training, and number 9 is reproduction and copying. So in number 9, it is a reproduction of an image. So paparamihin yung image and ilalagay sa uh, mga public area for us to identify or easily for the community to easily contact if they have the information of that specific person. Example, it is a criminal, so it is easy for us to solve a case if it is involved in the community. Our next topic is all about the history of photography. Later in 1000 AD, Al-Hasan discovered the pinhole camera. He come up those idea because of the reflection of the objects. Maybe in that time he is in the dark rooms and there is a light passing inside, and he saw the object, the reflection of the object, so he came up in the solution is the he came up in the idea that how to make that object or that reflection become permanent. So that's the first beginning of having our camera today. And on 17th century, Leonardo da Vinci discovered the camera obscura, or in the English name dark chamber, accurate perspective and scales. On 1725 to 1777, discovery of two elements, that was silver nitrate and silver chloride. Joseph Nisipuri ni FC on 1816 was able to obtain camera image on paper sensitized with silver chloride solution. On 1839, Louis Jacques Daguerre discovered the daguerreotype, the first practical photography process. Image was made permanent by the use of hypo. William Henry Fox Talbot on 1841, he patented caliotype process of negative on paper sensitized with silver chloride and silver nitrate. In 1839, Surgeon F.W. Herschel coined the word photography. James Clerk Maxwell on 1861, he searched on color. On 1947, Edwin H. Land introduced Polaroid camera, a one-step photography. Next is we will proceed to the important terms of photography. So first important terms of photography is relative aperture. The speed of the light gathering power of the lens is equal to the ratio of the focal length of the diameter of the lens pupil, or the relative brightness of the image produced by the lens as compared with the brightness of the subject. So it is the adjustments of the lens. If the light is if the higher the lights, example in the morning or in the sunny day, you have to set your lens into smaller for you to get the picture or take a picture clearly to your subject. And if the night, so you have to adjust the lens into the bigger for you to catch the object or your subject clearly. So the second important terms in photography is depth of field. The distance between the nearest and the farthest object, apparent sharp focus when the lens is focused at the given point. So you adjust the lens based to your subject. If it is uh, near to you, so the picture should be also appropriate. And if if the farthest object, you also adjust the lens for you to get the picture or your subject clear. Next is hyperfocal distance. The nearest distance at which the lens is focused in the particular given at to give the maximum depth of field. So number 4, depth of focus. The maximum permissible distance with the which the film may be placed and exceeding circles confusions to produce the image sharp. Distortion, the general levels referring to a particular distortion. So this is the image when you take a blurred image. It's because of your pulse. Circle confusion, this from the image of the point of the object is allowable. Circle of confusion is usually 1 to 1000, 1 over 1000 of the focal length of the lens in inch. All of views, number 7, all of views, the views of the subject suspended by two lines emerging from the from the cams of the extending to the center of the lens. And number 8 is focal length. Number 9 is resolving power of the lens. Number 10 is focused and more. That's all. Thank you.